So hello everyone. So actually I am going to solve this POTD of Leetcode that you would have seen. It is marked as hard and we are going to solve it. So actually I have solved this so that when I explain you I have a rough idea of what we are going to do. But I solved it on my own. So let's explain what is doing. So you see the question is maximum number of events that can be attended. So means you are given some events and events are of the form start day, and value. So there will be starting time of the event and the ending time, and there will be value associated with it. For example, we attended a event from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. There will be a value associated with it. And what we have to do in this question is that we have to select k events which we have to attend and which will give us maximum value. Now there is another condition that if event start at 2 and end at suppose 4, another event is there start at 4 and end at 6. Now we can choose only one of them. We cannot choose both of them because it is given that they are inclusive. That is, you cannot attend two events where one of them start and the other end at the same day. So in this case, we can only either attend this one or attend this one. So I think you would have studied the question properly, and even after trying it a lot of time, only you will be coming, because trying the question is very important. You should not directly see the solution. First of all, you should try by your own, and if you are not getting the solution by your own, then you can come here. So see how we are going to solve it. So first of all, if you see the topics, then I suggest that you should not see topic, but if you are not getting what the solution, you can see the topics: array, binary search, dynamic programming, sorting. So it is something like sorting. Sorting generally we have to do in such a question like where we are giving starting time and ending time. Sorting. So you should get the idea how sorting could be used. It is a default by default approach that in questions like where events or time interval is given, you always have to sort or by either by the starting time or ending time, so that you get a rough idea of how the events are going to happen in order. And you see dynamic programming, you can see that you have to use k and which should be maximum. You have to attend only k and you have to use maximum. You can, if you have solved a good number of questions on Leetcode, you should get idea that it can only be solved via dynamic programming, because if you go by greedy, it will not work. The reason that there would be a lot of possible combinations that you will have to choose. You can think that we can sort this by the use of value, and then we can take the those which are having highest value, but that would cause a problem because there would be many intersecting start day and end day type event. So you have to use dynamic programming, and I think if you are good at Leetcode and solve a lot of questions, then you should have also got hint that it could be solved via dynamic programming. So let us now make our approach and solve this question. So you can see that what our approach really is. In these type of question, maximum means what we can do for any event. See, if any event is there, what we can do. Either we can take that event or we can not take that event. This is a classical version of a kind of modification of 01 knapsack you would have studied. Or if you have not studied, just see. In these type of question, what the approach follows that we have to take events. Now, for any event, what can we do? We can either take that event or we can not take that event. So we will just do it. We will either take that event or try to not take that event. And then we will return our answer based on these conditions. And this the but since the not take and take approach leads to recursion, so the solution goes to the power of 2 to the power n, which causes it to give TLE, because we can see that the constraint of the problem is 10 to the power 6. So if we at each index we try to take or not take, then at each index we are having two choices that will make 2 to the power 10 to power 6, which I think is very exponential time complexity, and it will obviously give TLE. So now you would have to use memoization for that. But first of all, I am giving you writing code. See, I can give you 1,000 hours of lecture and how to solve this problem. But if you just try to code, then I think it will be better, because coding is more important than understanding how it's working. Because once you start coding, you automatically get the idea how to solve the problem. So first of all, what you have to do? First of all, let's sort it, because we want that they should be in ascending order of the starting time. So if a sort event dot begin, comma, events dot end. Now what you can see, if we use this sort, then it automatically sort the array with respect to the first position, and we know that first position is start day, so it automatically sort all the events on the basis of start day. Now what we can do, first of all we can take the size of the event. What is the size of this array events? Okay, now what we can do, we can call a function which will be do our dynamic programming and all the things, and we can return this function as the answer, because this would be the required function for it. Now what we can do, we can pass the events in it, we can pass the value of k in it, and we can make actually a dp vector which we will use to memorize the solution. So actually that would be a 2D. See, on every position, on what all the things the dp will depend, means the answer will depend. Answer will depend that in which index currently we are, and actually let me write this. After that I will explain you how it is all working, because first of all you should get familiarity with the code. I think if you are beginner, then you should first go with the approach and then with the code. And I know many of you would not be beginner, because you are coming to the hard portions of Leetcode, so I think you would have a basic knowledge of all these things. So vector int k comma minus n, so just initialized it with n and k, because our dynamic programming dp, this dp array, this will find at every index what is the maximum value we can get, and it will depend on two things: the index at which we currently are and the value of k remaining, because k also plays an important role here, because we can only take k elements. If k is 0, then we cannot take any element. You would have understood it. Element here means the event and event's value, because we are only focusing on the value of the event. So just pass all the arguments in the function and make a function int helper, and now we can use the arguments that are given here, and a lot of us also call it parameters, so we can get the parameters now. And here's the size of the events, and we can then give a dp array which is 2D vector, vector int, actually yeah, and here we are with the dp. Now we can pass it by reference, so that it does. Now what is the importance of passing it by reference here? Because if you do not pass it by reference here, at each time it will make a copy of dp, and again and again and again it will be making a copy, and that will lead to time complexity a lot of time if the size of dp is more. So that's why we always use this end instead of just passing by copy. So I think you should know that what is passed by value and passed by reference. Now see, here in this function we are finding the value, that maximum value what could be if we try to select days. So see, we will start from day 0, and what you also know that how a recursion or a dynamic programming case is handled. First of all you have to make a base case, okay, then you have to make the conditions, and then you have to return min या max, whichever is being asked from you. These are the three basic conditions to write any memoirs and any dp, anything in dynamic programming or recursion. These three are basic things. So first of all you should write that if, and one thing I forgot to write, that you also have to pass the index, because at what index you are, that you need to transfer. So currently we are at index 0. Now if we are at index n, that means we have traversed the whole array, okay. Suppose this was array and we are at the end, means we are here. Now n means equal to the size of array, means we have traversed the whole array and we are now out of the array. So what we should return? I think we should return 0, and yes, this is right. Now if we do not choose this element, int not choose, means we have to make condition. I already tell you we have to take two conditions, choose or not choose. Now if we are not choosing this, then what we will do, we can just, first of all events will be as same, k, since we are not using k, so k will be same, n will be same as n, dp will be same as dp, but idx will be, index will be +1, because we are not choosing. So we are going to the next one element which is present in the event to check that would be choose or not. Now int choose, first of all see, what if we choose this element? if we choose this element, what should be the condition now? If we choose this element, then we will add the value of this element in our answer. And suppose we are using this element, this means we are using 3 to day 4. Now this means that we cannot use any element or any event which is before day, which comes in the intersection of day 3 to 4, because it is written that if you can only attend one event on a day. So if 3 to 4 you are having one event, this means you cannot event this one event, because this is also 2 to 3 and this is 3 to 4. So either you can attend this 2 to 3 or this 3 to 4. Suppose you took this 2 to 3. Now you will check this if there any element or any event which is starting after 3, that you would have to check. Now there are two things you can do to use this. Either you can use linear search or a binary search. But since we have sorted the array, so I think you can use binary search. Okay. So let ending index be n, the highest index. We are in this index is out of bound, you should know that we are setting, because currently suppose we have, you can take this example. Let us now more clearly, because a lot of person of you would not be knowing about much about DP, how it works. So suppose, so for beginners only I am telling this. If you are good at DP, then you can skip this part also. Suppose we are having 1 2 4. This will be the array, because after sorting it with the respect to the starting time, this will become like that. Okay. Now comes 3 4 3. Suppose we choose this element. Suppose we choose this element and we add that value 4 in our answer. Now you see one thing. We are attending the event from day 1 to day 2. Now can we attend this event? No, because this is ending at day 2 and this event is ending at day starting at day 1. So they are intersecting. That means either we can use this event or this event. Since if we use this event, then we cannot use this. So what we can use? We will try to check that which event after this is starting after 2. So this event is starting at day 3 and we end at day 2. This means we can use this event. So if we use this event, then we can also use this event. That is what exactly I want to say. Okay. So that's why I'm using this ending index to find that which is the next event I can take if I take this present index. So in ending index, now int s equals to idx plus 1. I will check from the next element to the highest, and this e equals to n minus 1. Okay. Now I will use a binary search that of course you would be familiar with, because if you are not familiar with that, I don't think that you should come here. First of all, you should learn those basic things. And okay, now if events mid starting of this if is greater than present, greater than the events of idx 2. 2 here symbolizes what? We are having a vector of 3 and 2 means this ending one, and this, sorry, there should be 1 instead of this 2, because 0 1 event indexing start from 0. Okay, so if it is greater than, then ending id, sorry, I made up one more d here, so I think that will be confusing attack for you. So mid, and what we do more, we can make ending mid minus 1. Else we can do one thing, we can do s equals to mid plus 1. Okay, now we are having this. Now ending index will be having what? It will be having the index of the event that we should choose after choosing this present index. So if we choose the present index, we can add the value first, idx 2, value is 2. See, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. That's why I am using 2 here. Plus helper events k minus 1, because since we have chosen this element, now next time we choose any other element, we have one less value because we presently use this element. N comma dp comma idx, no, here will not be idx, now here will be ending index, because now we should go to that index. Now what we should do? We should save the values in our DP. Choose command net choose. Okay, and we should return this value actually, and not choose here. We are getting this. Okay, now check what are some more bugs remaining here. See, if we already having this value, if someone is asking for this value and we already having this, since I initialize it with -1, and if we are getting some value, already getting some value, then -1 not represent, then we can return the same value actually k. Okay, so this is the thing which I use to make it actually, and help, and I think it should work fine. If there any error comes, then we'll be debugging it. Still, I think the logic is right and it should work. And there could be a lot of times some small bugs which remain even after solving the question. So that we'll work upon. Oh, my internet is not working. Yeah, it's working now. So what is saying? Events. Oh my god, I make a typo error here. Events is there. Event. Here also I made a typing error. Events. Actually, these typing errors happen because of. These are very common if you come to programming. These typo. And actually, if dp idx k not equals to -1, actually see. Actually, I think this could be the error here, and that's why I'm starting with this. Actually, it's giving DP. Okay, my charger is charging is less. Let me charger. Sanade, switch on the button. Okay, so it is giving heap overflow. That obviously happens when the index is trying to go out of bounds and DP is not having that much scope. So that's why this error comes. If IDX equals to k, then okay, then here we are having this, and I think this is actually sort. First of all, I sorted this and I took the size of events and dpn -1 and +1 and k, and actually a+1 here size should be, because actually we are using k, so oh, got it. So actually this was the error of heap overflow coming because we are using k and indexing start from 0. So 0 to k means k+1 size should be there for the array, but I was using the size for as key only. That was why it was giving the indexing errors. We bound means it was giving the overflow error. Now it is all right, and we have passed 2 test cases. Now the third test case is running, not coming now. We should see what the error we are getting here. Actually, see, sorted the array. Okay, no problem. Size of the okay, vector for dp okay, then events k and 0 okay. Now if events index equals to n, then we should return 0. If dp not equals to -1, then we should return it. Ending index equals to n actually. Okay, ending index equals to n and starting equals to idx +1 and ending equals to n -1. If s smaller equal to e, it equals to s plus 1y. If starting of the events is greater than the events idx +1, then int mid equals to s plus e minus s by 2. Then if events mid 0 is greater than, actually one more thing I think we have forgotten to make in the base case actually. If k has become 0, then we should not take this, we should already return 0. That thing, I think that base case is, I think we forgot to mention here. Yeah, now it's coming all right. That was the base case which we have forgotten. But if k, we also have to k only k elements. Now if k is already 0, then we should not take. Now you can see that it passed some, it is accepted. It beats 36.6% of the population, and 175 milliseconds is the time it took to complete. And I think you would have got this. If you are not getting, you can comment down and I will reply to if possible. And I think I this is my first video, and I will continue to put down videos for other lead code application now from today. And one more thing that I wanted to say is that in this question, in this type of question, I actually did not use much explanation because I think that code should be done by writing code, not by first of time by writing that how this type of code is done. If we means if you are a beginner and you think that hard questions I am unable to do hard questions, what you should do? You should first write code. Whatever comes in your mind, just write code. Don't think about a perfect solution. And because today when I said for this problem, even I am a student, so I'm not a working professional, so I would be solving this in the first time. Then, so when I saw this question, I was thinking that how could we solve? Then I just started writing the code. And when I solved the first time, I was using linear search to find this. Then I got an idea that I can also use binary search here that will be optimizing this. And then I came to the optimized solution. So you should not think that you have to just give up optimal solution the one time. You just write code and see what the bugs are coming. Because writing code is better than thinking about how the code will run, and I think that is not better for you. You should first try to write code. Write whatever you are getting in the question, just write it, and you can use ChatGPT, of course, for your help if you are think that you are write code and you are getting some errors. That you could absolutely use, but don't rely on ChatGPT for direct solutions because that will not increase your problem solving skills. First of all, you should try your by own, and if you are not getting the right solution, then you should actually see the solution. Thank you very much.